and wins for Houston and Dallas.
From the gridiron to the airwaves, it's time for the Martin Houston Show with Martin and Xavier. Martin is a national championship fullback from the 1992 Alabama Crimson Tide. Known for his bruising runs and devastating blocks now, he's bulldozing through sports talk with that same championship intensity. Joining him is his son, Xavier, a savant of football knowledge and statistical insight. He's your go-to source for the latest recruiting news and insider updates from across the Bama Nation. Together, they deliver fair and balanced analysis from an insider's perspective with real conversations with the callers, the listeners, and the online maniacs get in on the action by sharing their thoughts, their comment, and their reaction. Join our online maniacs at facebook.com/The Martin Houston Show. You're listening to Tide 100.9 and 1230 WTBC. It's time for kickoff, so buckle up and get ready. Because this is the sound of Bama sports. The Martin Houston Show with Martin and Xavier is live. Roll Tide, roll!
Good morning. Welcome into the Martin Houston Show with Martin and Xavier on this manic Monday. It's not a happy Monday. It's a sad Monday. But hey, we got Kenny and Smith III joining us. Of course, we'll talk about Alabama's loss to Oklahoma in football. We'll hit what Alabama needs to do to right the ship. We still somewhat control our own destiny. We'll talk about those scenarios as well as we figure out what Alabama's going to do with 2 weeks left. Over to you.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome into the program. We're live, looking ready to get things rolling right here on your home for Alabama sports. We'll get our good, bad, and ugly this morning. Get your thoughts on it. Of course, the ugliest is the fact that Alabama came out of the weekend with a loss. As I like to sometimes do, I'll also try to find a silver lining in this game because there was some good in this game. So we'll look at that and try to figure out how does Alabama move forward from here better. We'll look at the interception. Was that tie? Was that O-line? Was that pressure? Was that the wide receiver sack, fumble, pressure? Was it the O-line? What about that last play call? Oh, man. Yeah, I have to think about that. What about let's see if I don't know. I don't want. This is not to make a comparison type of thing. But here's the question, X. You feel really good about our offense. And you feel real, but we have a offensive production, but no points. This team, this offense, maybe we've fallen in love with, we have a passer. But do we really have a scoring offense? Last week, Josh, with Football Nerds, made the statement that the Alabama defense, statistically, you can look in some places and be like, man, they give up this per play, and they give up this and this and this. And all of a sudden, you think the defense is not that good. But then in critical moments, in critical situations, they're one of the top defenses in the country. So I guess the question I would have for you, X, and for our listening audience, have we been mesmerized by how we look versus how we produce? because last year's offense put a lot more points on the board. They have more 3 and outs than we did this year. I mean, last year than this year. But they also got in that zone a lot more. So I'm just asking. I'm just throwing it out there. We get a lot of yards, but do we get in that zone enough? Well, that's for us to talk about. We got our maniacs jumping in. We'll get you guys in. I'm sure you guys are fired up. They're fired up over there. So we'll get the maniacs in. Good morning, guys. Bam Bam and Lion Squirrel Sport and Rodriguez Carlisle, Curtis Moore II, Miss Pittner, Sam Pittner, Hollywood, the barber, Tim the heavy hitter, QD. Man, QD, yeah. Rusty Dent. Oh man, it's a rough. Jacob Powell. Jacob sent me a message during the game. I got to turn TV off. He said I can't watch it anymore. I don't know if he turned it off or not, X, but he was there. Chapman family, welcome in. Oh man, X. Remember that this is a day that the Lord has made, so let's rejoice and be glad in it. Take some time to notice someone, love someone, serve someone, be the difference you want to see in the world today. X, I guess on that question I was talking about, do you have to say it's obvious because the point totals we were putting up last year so outweigh the point totals we're putting up this year. Now the question is, you know, it is what 23-21. I know. Did they see something X in us? Because that I don't know if I've seen a team punch at the ball as much as they did when we touched the ball. I have a pet peeve that I have. If you watch football games with me, my pet peeve is put the ball in the right arm, in the correct arm. Sorry. If you're going to the left, the ball should be in your left arm because there's fewer players coming from that side. And the likelihood of you getting the ball punched out, knocked loose, etc. Right?
Yep.
So, and if you go to the right, you put it in the right arm, and we do that. And I think they know that we don't teach our players how to put the ball in the right arm, in the correct arm. So anyway, it was a rough one. And here's the bad part. We got beat by a sorry Oklahoma team 2 years in a row. I don't care what you say. That is not a good football team.
Nope.
You put the ball on the ground, 6 times, pick 6. You know what their average scoring drive was?
It had to be about 30 yards, 35 yards.
28 yards was their average scoring drive. And you still have a chance to win? Man, there's so much stuff. X. What about I'm drinking, so you take over, man.
Yeah, I did. People you brought it up. The way the offense looks this year compared to last year, and we've only broke 40 points once this year, and that was against UL Monroe. We got close.
How many times we broke 30?
3, including UL Monroe. Tennessee, which had a defensive touchdown, in Wisconsin.
So how many times has offense broke 30? Not the point total.
2. But no matter it and I brought this up. I got a group chat that we were talking. Ty is very surgical, but you don't have to cover the whole field with him. So it's easier for defenses to play him. Last year you had to stretch the field because somebody in that group said we don't have playmakers that can stretch the field. And I'm saying, yeah, we do. We do. Now, granted, he's had a couple of those dropped, but Ty just hasn't been very accurate on the deep ball. And that's one thing you can give Jalen Milroe over Ty Simpson is the deep ball accuracy, which helps open up the offense. They can't crowd the line of scrimmage. They have to cover the entire field. But just to put this in perspective, with 3 games left in his career, Jalen Milroe had 32 touchdowns last year after game 10. Ty Simpson has 24. So that just shows you there's 8 touchdowns we're missing from last year to this year. And then I hadn't even looked at what the running back touchdown totals were at this point last year to this year.
Yeah, and I don't want to listen.
It's the point of we're getting all of these yards, but not converting them into points. Because you also got to remember, we've kicked more field goals this year than we did all of last year.
Which means that we've driven the ball more this year. That's what I'm saying is this offense is more productive in terms of yards and drives.
Yes.
Last year was
but
boom.
We don't score.
Last year was boom or bust, which hurts your defense.
Yes.
Which hurts your defense. So I don't know that this defense would be as good if it had Milroe. So I'm not advocating getting rid of Ty and all of that.
It's what just a point production.
What I'm saying is it's a mystery to me how it didn't dawn on me till after the game, and I was rethinking some things. You had brought it up while we were watching the game, but then I really started thinking about it. Up until last week, I felt so good about this offense. And then I realized, hold on, they're not getting into the zone. They're not getting into the zone enough. And it had not dawned on me. You know, I don't think the O-line played that bad. When you get blitzed as much as we got blitzed, I thought the O-line played well. It was a couple times where they got through and it may have cost us. But there's several things I want to break down. We're going to add Kenneth Smith to the conversation. We're going to bring our callers in. Guys on the callers, we're going to get you in and out. So just be ready for that. In and out. Get your topic in there. Get your question in there. And then we're going to so we can get Kenneth's thoughts as well. But there's so much in this. I thought we had a great game plan and still I never thought we were going to lose that game, Max. I never thought we were going to lose that game.
Until we lost.
Until our attitude on the last drive. Like we act like there was a whole nother quarter. No urgency. We should have gotten 2 drives out of that if we did not score. We did not go fast. We didn't show any urgency. The play calling was like, in that last play, they haven't covered Daniel Hill in the middle of the field yet. Not one time. And we run one route to the outside. Anyway, let's get the break. It's Monday morning, and I'm the quarterback. Roll Tide, everybody. We'll be back on the other side.
This report is sponsored by Indeed.com.
Only at Townsend Nissan, every new and select used vehicle includes a lifetime powertrain warranty. And right now, get up to $7,000 off new Nissans. Family-owned, serving Tuscaloosa for over 50 years. Townsend Nissan, where peace of mind comes standard.
When you're trying to find quality candidates, all the searching, screening, and interviewing can become a job itself. You need Indeed, the all-in-one platform that makes it easy to interview, screen, and hire quality people. Visit Indeed.com/credit.
Get your life back when the world's gone crazy. Get your life back. And I don't mean maybe when you know you got to have a friend. You call 833-833-MARY-WIZ and get your life back, baby. Get your life back, baby.
Stephen Mezrano, Alabama injury lawyer. sponsors. Miz wins.
Planning a tailgate in the quad before the big game? Watching with friends at home? Sack the stress of what to serve and make Foosackly's part of your game plan. Whether you want to roll on through the drive-thru or order from the Foo app, we've got you covered. Our hand-battered chicken fingers, house-made sauces, and gallons of fresh squeezed lemonade are the perfect play call for your party. So, before kickoff, remember that football starts with Foo. Foosackly's, proud partner of the Crimson Tide.
Get a head start on your holiday shopping at Celebrate Local. Shop the halls. Join us Wednesday, November 19th, 2025 from 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. at the Bryant Conference Center on the University of Alabama campus. Enjoy a festive shopping experience with local boutiques, artists, and more with free admission. Presented by Visit Tuscaloosa and Premier Service Company. An event by the Chamber of Commerce of West Alabama. Celebrate Local, Shop the halls, November 19th at Bryant Conference Center.
Hey, I'm Martin Houston, and I want to tell you about exciting news happening at Box Eye Care. They've moved to their new location, bringing you a brand new lab, stylish new frames, and a fresh look just for you. Enjoy their expanded frame inventory, competitive prices, and faster service, all with the same great level of service you've come to know and trust. Discover this full-service eye care at Box Eye Care's new location. With their in-house lab, they offer unbeatable value and one of the largest frame collections in town. Schedule your eye exam today and walk out with new glasses in less than an hour in most cases. Visit boxeyecare.com. That's boxeyecare.com or call 205-342-0660. That's 205-342-0660. Visit them at 5003 Oscar Baxter Drive. That's Box Eye Care. Your vision, our priority.
Tide 100.9 Tuscaloosa weather.
The sky partly to mostly sunny today, the high 71. Clear and cool tonight, the low 49. Very mild tomorrow and Wednesday. A good supply of sunshine both days. Highs between 76 and 79 degrees. I'm James Spann with the Alabama Weather Network on Tide 100.9. It's 43 degrees in Tuscaloosa.
The sound of Bama sports. Your show, your team. The Martin Houston Show on your home for Alabama sports. Tide 100.9 and streaming on the Tide 100.9 app.
Welcome back into the Martin Houston Show with Martin and Xavier. Man, X, it was a interesting day. Let's go ahead and get Kennington in. Kennington, what's up, man?
Yeah, I'm good. How are y'all?
Doing good, man. Doing good. Well, Kennington, we have a bunch of comments. We have several people on the phone line, so we're gonna work them in pretty quick, but get them in and out so we can get to some conversation on the other side, and I'll ask you the questions and share the comments that the maniacs made online. But before we do that, talk to me, man. Everything that you don't want to do, the part of the game that has nothing to do with production, turnovers and special teams. Talk to me.
Yeah. I feel like this is like a running bit for me every week to come on here and say that Alabama special teams has been a disaster. Been saying this for going on 2 years now, and it continues to be the same story. It was funny because I texted you after, on that first punt return.
Yeah.
I was like, disaster, another disaster. This is like part 1,000, and it just kind of continued to spiral from there. So, that's disappointing. Obviously, the turnovers, again, disappointing. It felt more like a one-off than anything else. That's just not who Alabama's been this year, turnover-wise. To go -3 in a game. But this was kind of like a what-if game, right? Like, we've been coming here, weekly talking about Bama on the other side of these games. Like, well, what if whatever against South Carolina and Vanderbilt and Missouri and Alabama. I wouldn't say that they've been like getting by, but they have been flying pretty close to the sun. And this was just the one game where the things that went right for them in other games didn't go well for them this game. And this was the result. So I don't think we learned anything new necessarily about the team. This is just kind of like, okay, well, if all the things that we've been talking about don't go Alabama's way, what could be the result? I think we saw that last Saturday.
Yeah, and think about this. Everything that went wrong. Bad special teams play, turnovers, not just turnovers, 10-point swing on the pick six, at least, and block field goal, missed field goal, whatever you want to call it. Craziness down the stretch. And this team lost to a top 10 team by 2 points.
That they outgained by 2.
I mean, you see what I'm saying? Like take the turnovers away, and Alabama. I think this team was as much better than the team they lost to as last year's team was to the team they lost to.
Yeah.
This game last year with last year's team is a 35 to a 42 to 7 or 3 game. So, you know what I mean? Like it was 24-3 last year. If this team had played like last year's team, it would have been even worse because I mean it's crazy to think about. So anyway, let's get to the phone lines. We'll get back to a couple other things. All right, Pat, you're in with Martin, Xavier, and Kennington. Hit it and get with it. Let's go.
Kenny. Hey, man, first off, the interception. I was watching it from the end zone. Pass interference, absolutely. Same play they was down at the end zone that they called. Pass interference on where they intercepted the ball at the end zone. Bull crap. These referees are the most inconsistent pieces of crap that there ever was in life. And then the fact that Formby can't block squat. Nothing can he block. I don't know if he can block the door to Fusaki's or whatever else he advertises.
Hey, Xavier.
Hey, Pat, pause. Pat, pause. Hey, that was Michael Carroll that gave up that sack when Ty fumbled.
Oh, that hit him on the Michael Carroll gave it up. All right.
So can you repeat what you said about Formby?
He don't need to repeat it. Hey, Pat, yeah, real quick. I told you when I tell you X, what I tell you Formby, somehow Formby was going to get blamed for the pressures and all of that. It's crazy to me. I don't understand it. But anyway, here's the point, Pat. Yes, there was a pass interference, and Kennington, you can respond to this. It was a pass interference, but to me, the wide receiver ran that route like it was zone, not man. He was supposed to cross that guy's face because of the way he was playing him. It was man coverage. It looked like man coverage. And he curled and began to hook up and then realized he needed to keep going. And Ty let it go, anticipating a plant your foot and cross his face. And I saw that happen. I saw it happen like 3 or 4 times this past weekend. Kennington, your thoughts on that play? I think it was pass interference too, but I also think it was because of the way the receiver ran the route.
Yeah, it definitely did seem like there was I don't know if miscommunication is the right word, but it definitely seemed like there was something was off the mark there. So unfortunate.
Yeah, what?
And I will say this about Michael Carroll though. He did do a good job of getting back into the play and like trying to stop Bowen from scoring that pick six.
He shows some athletic ability.
Yeah. So I saw more linemen trying to stop him than receivers. But he ran the whole length of the field, and Carroll was the last line of defense. So that's good hustle play by him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks.
All right, guys. Hey, appreciate it, Martin. All I know is a bad weekend, man. But you have a blessed day. Bye-bye.
Yeah, thanks, Pat. All right. Let's see. Chuck Hunt, you're in with Kennington, Xavier, and Martin. What's on your mind, sir?
All right, I'm gonna be quick. You're right. I agree with you all. That wasn't the best Oklahoma team, and what happened? I was at the Graham and Alcorn game in Lorman, Mississippi, and some of the Alcorn supporters were talking about Oklahoma winning the game. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. I looked at my phone and started looking. I said, "Wait a minute!" And also to top it off, I saw yesterday morning on video. The Oklahoma player after the game, the players were going to take a photo in the middle of the logo, and the lady was real put on. She's on staff there on field staff, and she made them get off of that logo, and they said something. I saw the staff from Oklahoma telling the guy to come on, let's go, let's get out because we didn't need any kind of action taking place because after what occurred in College Station, Texas, with that state trooper with that South Carolina play, you didn't need anything to happen bringing law enforcement into it. I think that's what that staff was looking at.
Yeah. Thanks, Chuck. X, respond.
Yeah, I mean it's a disappointment, but I mean, that's what happens when you play the way that you did at the end of the day. Empty yards.
Protect your house, and Stafford doesn't have to protect your logo.
Right.
Robert, you're in with Martin, Xavier, and Kennington. What's on your mind, sir?
Well, I don't know how we can win a championship, but under the DeBoer era right now, just play Georgia 15 times, and we'll be, 14-1? We'll win a national championship. That's going to be the only team they can consistently get up for, isn't it? You're totally right, Martin, about that last 7 minutes. 7 minutes to go 50 yards, to make it to the 50-yard line. That was pathetic times 10. I was the same way with you. Where's my sense of urgency? We have a championship defense. I'm totally convinced of that now. The defense is a championship defense. But our offense can't get to good enough level. And because it just has no fire. It just has no spark. It's just unbelievable that we can't get this together. But we can't. They want this team to play like we have Bryce Young, like we have Tua, like we have Mac Jones, like we have Jalen Hurts, 2.0. We don't have that quarterback. So you got to start playing accordingly to it. You need a quarterback at that level for this offense to work. And right now, Ty just isn't. He has taken a good 2-3 steps backward in his career.
Robert, let me add, and I'll let Kenneth. Robert, is it his play or the fact that he wants to be perfect? Because when Ty is letting the ball go, guys, that's what I'm saying. We're getting production. This offense is producing in terms of yardage and drives and time of possession, everything that you want except for the zone. And it's because in key moments, he holds the ball. It's I don't know. My mind could not wrap around because this offense has, if you look at some of the statistics, other than the points, it's better than last year.
Oh, yeah, last year wasn't good either.
Run game. I'm telling you, now, where I'm going to disagree with you, Robert, is if I put this guy on those other teams, he's as good or better than all of them. Because
I agree.
They all have a run game. They all had a run game. I don't know if any of those other guys would have done what you take Najee Harris away, Mac Jones is middle of the road. I just don't think. I just don't think that. So I don't want this to be a dog tie from a throwing it standpoint. I want it to
Jay
be.
Cutler was as good as he was because he had Derrick Henry, AJ because he had TJ and Trent and Eddie and all those guys.
And Robert, what I guess, and Kennedy, I guess what I'm saying, Robert, is I think this is a offensive, not the quarterback. He's the lightning rod, Robert, that we have to point out. You know what I mean? And I think that's what you're saying is since we don't, I can't figure out, is it grub? Is it philosophy? I can't figure it out.
That last series was definitely grub. It was like, dude, you have to know the situation. Like you said, there should have been 2 possessions out of that. They were acting like they were trying to preserve a lead. Oh, you're screaming at my brother. Why are we not playing with a sense of urgency? You look like you're trying to preserve a lead. If you need to get down as quick as you can. If it don't work, you got another possession. And we waste times out at the worst possible time.
Robert, I'll tell you, it's two things. I think it's Grub. I think it's a mixture of Grub and Ty. Ty's need for perfection, and Grub's ability of letting him do it on top of play calling. Because there's no reason we should be snapping the ball every time with under 10 seconds left. But part of that is Ty making all of these adjustments and change. I think his biggest blessing is his biggest curse, and that's he's too cerebral for his own good at times.
Kennington, your response real quick. Let Ken, and then I'll let you close it off, Robert.
Yeah, I think X just hit the nail on the head where it's like you love, like when Alabama wins and Ty Simpson is up there at the podium talking about, oh, I need to do this better, need to do that better. It's like, that's like, it feels great, but then also it's like, okay, like that same attitude when things aren't going well can sometimes cause things to spiral. And, I think, the boys were saying it all year, so is Ryan Grubb. It's just been like, yo, just play, relax, cut it loose, kind of do your thing. And sometimes his head does kind of get in his way in that regard. As far as like the overall criticism of the Tide, I don't think that's necessarily fair because Alabama has to play this way. They don't want to play this way. Like, do you think Alabama wants to just put it all on Ty Simpson's shoulder? It's the same situation that Jalen Milroe was in last year. It looks different, but it's really the same thing. Alabama lives and dies by its quarterback play. And it wasn't the best game on Saturday for Ty Simpson, and that was the result. So Ty has to play better. The standard is high. He set the bar that high. But this Alabama offense really isn't any different than what it was last year, which is when the quarterback is playing awesome, the offense looks functional. When the quarterback isn't playing awesome, then the offense is going to falter because they really don't have anything else on offense going for them right now. Like, what is Alabama's offensive identity?
Robert, closing thoughts.
By the week.
I think the board mentioned this also, and you guys have mentioned it also. Just getting the feel for the game on Ty's part. This is totally his fault, and don't hold on to the ball too long. You have got to get the instinct of when to get rid of it. These fumbles are the last several games. It's been about 3 games in a row. He's had a sack fumble. That's bad on any level. Or 5. It's even worse. That's bad on any level. You cannot let that be the rap on you. And so you really got to get rid of it quicker, make quicker decisions. And like you said, the play clock cannot keep going down to 0, especially in that situation. You have to know the situation and find a way to speed up. You do have a 2-minute offense. We've seen it. You can score in less than a minute. We've seen that too. How could you not realize that needed to have been the case then? That's still on. It's just mainly coaching. That they should have been in his ear saying, we have to speed this up, and they didn't do it. So it's just, once again, the boys against inferior teams, there's no consistency against inferior teams. It's the most amazing thing. I can't understand.
And the crazy part is Oklahoma is a top 10 team, and we absolutely – their quarterback had 138 yards passing.
Yeah. Outside of maybe 5 or 6 plays, Alabama beat the crap out of them. Outside of like 5 plays.
That game, if you played that game again, Alabama wins that game by 3 to 4 scores, Yeah. And so that's the good part, Bama.
Well, that's who we're matched up with currently in the playoffs.
Yeah. But here's the beauty of it. Here's what I want you to think about during the break, guys. We keep saying they don't have any other options. I saw something totally different. I saw another option Saturday that they didn't go with. And they kept trying to go back to what we started the season with. One guy has grown. One guy has reverted. And this offense and this staff and this team still is causing us to dog that portion of their game. I'll tell you what it is on the other side.
The Tide Tailgate Show is presented by Pearl River Resort in Choctaw, Mississippi. Online at pearlriverresort.com. And by Tuscaloosa Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram. Online at TuscaloosaCDJR.com. And by 2 Dimes. Online at 2dimes.club. And by Druid City Regional Medical Center. DCHsystem.com. A night of rock you don't want to miss. Lido Ford. And joining Lita for a very special encore set, the legendary Dee Snider from Twisted Sister. With special guests, Firehouse. Saturday, December 27th, Pearl River Resort Silver Star Convention Center. Tickets on sale now at pearlriverresort.com.
We're Tuscaloosa Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, and we're on a journey to be Tuscaloosa's destination for powerful, iconic Jeeps, like a new 2025 Grand Cherokee with 0% financing during the Black Friday sales event. Start your journey now at Tuscaloosa Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram or TuscaloosaCDJR.com, where you pick it out and we'll work it out. Select models with approved credit plus tax, registration, and fees. $16.67 per thousand, finance for 60 months. See dealer for details. Expires month end.
Alabama football is back, and there's nothing more refreshing than an ice-cold Surfside to enjoy while you cheer on your Crimson Tide. Surfside is only 100 calories, 2 grams of sugar, and 0 bubbles. That's right, no carbonation, so it's easy to sip and enjoy. It's not a seltzer, it's Surfside. Proud partner of the Crimson Tide. Sold in stadium and at bars, restaurants, and stores near you. Must be 21. Please drink responsibly.
Target brings more taste, more flavor, and more deals to your Thanksgiving table. Save big on affordable holiday crowd pleasers, like select elevated sides and appetizers from Good & Gather for only $4.99. Favorite day pies for a sweet finishing touch, also just $4.99. And don't forget, great tasting turkey for only 79 cents a pound. So many cravings, so many ways to save. Step into the holidays and elevate your Thanksgiving today. Only at Target. Restrictions apply.
The Tide Tailgate Show is always on just before the Crimson Tide Sports Network live broadcast on 95.3 The Bear and Sports Radio Tide 100.9 and 12:30 a.m. WTBC and online at 953thebear.com and Tide100.9.com. Game day traffic reports to get you to Bryant-Denny Stadium. Live reports from our Bama beat reporter, Wyatt Fulton. Game day picks from the top games. And this year, special insight each week. The Tide Tailgate Show originates live from Grandstand in Tuscaloosa's Timerson Square. Come sip beverages or grab a bite before or after the game. The Tide Tailgate Show is presented by Pearl River Resort, DCH Regional Medical Center, 2 Dimes Tuscaloosa, and Tuscaloosa Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram. Interact with the Martin Houston Show by calling us at 205-342-9904 or tuning into the Martin Houston Show on Facebook.
Yeah, I think it felt like there was opportunities where we had seams to run the football more so than we have, and you know, there's still times, again, they're very good against the run, and so you know, watch the film in more detail and see. But I thought our effort, I thought our belief in doing it is continuing to head in the right direction.
Oh, right. Oh, Kennington X. Oh man, I want to come to the run game. I want to share, just share something. Let's just 23-12, 80-74, 326-138, 75-51. Guys, we had like season high 23 first downs, 80-yard rushing, not great, but you just heard what he said, and I just want to come back to it. We had 326 yards passing. Had 275 of those in the first half. We had 75 plays. We only had 2 penalties. We had 34 and a half minutes of possession, and between third and fourth down, we were 43.75%. So I don't want us to get on here and because you take away the turnovers, Alabama wins. You take away the special teams debacle, and Alabama wins. The question I have, so I don't want Alabama changing all these things. So the question I have, first of all, to both of you is, why did we change so much for this game? Did the thought about Oklahoma knowing signals cause Alabama to not go with what they do well and change some things? I don't know. It seemed like we were a team that made a lot of changes changes in our approach and putting Ryan Williams at punt returner and all that. If you want the electric guy to get the ball, give it to him on speed sweeps and not on the punt return. Kennedy, you go first.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. And then I think to even add to like potential Alabama paranoia, it's like, okay, you got the sign thing, but then also like it's like the whole now Oklahoma's coming off of a bye. So it's like, oh, they had even more time to prepare, and they're probably going to throw something else at you, and it's going to be like something different. So I think that might have been a part of it as well. The Ryan Williams on the punt return thing, I don't understand because, you know, God bless Ryan Williams. He's a great player. Ryan Williams was not a great punt returner last year.
No.
So that, again, just didn't make a whole lot of sense. So I don't know if from my vantage point though, you could expand a little bit on what you think Alabama did differently than what they've done in recent weeks. I will be curious to hear your thoughts. I don't know if they did anything like schematically different. At least that's just from what I saw. But it just wasn't the same buttoned up effort, obviously, than what we've seen in previous weeks.
Yeah. X.
If you're going to make a switch hit punt returner, you put the guy back there that's been returning kicks in some shape, form, or fashion, who's just as explosive, if potentially not more explosive, and that's Latsir Brooks. If you want to add that dynamic to your game, that's what you do. And I've loved everything Jam Miller has done in an Alabama uniform, but he's not the same player he was this season ago. You have Daniel Hill, who you saw get loose, and you saw drag people. You have Kevin Riley, who was good enough to be your starting running back when Jam was out, and now he's not touching the ball at all. You hear all these rumors about a Kalen Deere and what he brings to the table. I don't know what happened with Richard Young, but you got 3 young running backs that have all this potential, and you keep going back to the well, and it's hurting the run game. Jam is not explosive this year. He doesn't have good vision this year. So it is what it is in that case. Move on. You have to for the sake of the team. And then it is just frustrating when you see all the stuff that you see.
Yeah. And in the case of Jam Miller, what's been his saving grace up until this point has been like the veteran know-how and like always like a really great pass protector, but that has left him at the moment. So if all of them are gonna be bad at pass protecting, then you should play the most productive guy, which are the young guys, led by Daniel Hill.
Yeah.
If the pass protection gonna be bad all across the board, play the guys that are actually getting you yards.
Yeah, and think about it. If this was a typical offense, how many yards do you think Daniel Hill has? If we lean on him and stop putting Jam out there because he's, I guess, the senior. It would
probably be like a 60 to 70 yard per game guy.
He had 60 Saturday.
I'm talking about this Saturday. Jam, I guarantee you, they didn't want to tackle him.
No, not at the end of not towards the end of the game. Well, I think we said this on a previous show. It's like just give them the ball 15 times and make them tackle them.
Yes. Yeah. And that's what like and QD said, I like Daniel Hill, but his pass pro is cheats. He was blown up by a DB on a blitz and got Ty sacked. So did what's his name?
And the one with Daniel, Ty stepped into the sack.
Yeah, and that's all I said. Ty stepped up on that block. He should have stepped back. That was one of those drift in the pocket moments because the guy was coming right at your face and he stepped into him. He didn't do. What's name didn't make a great block, but I also want to make sure that if I had been blocking in that situation, Ty would have got sacked as well. Because when he hit him, he went to the left and Ty stepped up to his left. So with that said, but my point is Daniel Hill ran the ball extremely well. How do you not have Daniel Hill right over the center on that last play? On the fourth down, the middle of the field was open all day. Kennington, how do you not go there on that last play?
Yeah, I don't know. They're throwing it to the far side of the field near the sideline on fourth didn't seem like the best option, but Grubb is usually cooked in those situations. So that play was just a little that was just off the wall.
That whole mechanic of that. It was fourth down. We let the clock run like we were in field goal range, or like we had won the game. And then that play, I was like, okay, I understand I'm a Monday morning quarterback, but I'm like, we're not going to get this because we didn't look like we believe we could get it. And then we called it mass protection. We had the running back stay in on a play where, anyway, I don't know.
You want to know what's crazy about that last drive? That if everything would have went well, considering where they were on that fourth down, Alabama was playing for a Connor Talty field goal. That's the craziest part about all of that. They were playing to kick.
That's what it looked like.
It was gonna come down to a kick, probably from far. They weren't moving the ball very fast.
Simeon,
it's probably gonna be a 50+ yarder.
Simeon, my little brother, we were all watching the game together, and he goes, "We're at the 17-yard line, and we've had the ball for 3 minutes after we started that drive." He goes, "They're playing this drive like it's the last drive." It took us 3 more minutes to get to the 45. They were going to kill the clock and let Connor Talty try to win you the game.
Yeah. Hey, listen, speaking of Connor Talty, hold on before I say that. Kennington, we had another confirmation of why we have Grubb as our offensive coordinator, though. I guarantee you that. Because the Seattle, I'm sure the Seahawks are like, Alabama, now y'all see what we went through last year. It looks good. He makes some unbelievable, like the fourth down fake, the crispy handoff and toss it to Lazir Brooks. All of that was good, right? But it's just like I can't comprehend, Kennington, why this offense doesn't have more points. I mean, it's just this week it's because of the turnovers, but it's been something every week. We've pretty much outscored every team we've played
in the first half.
No, I mean, I'm talking about outperformed them offensively. I think that's why on our show, everybody continually picks this team to score 30 to 40 points, because when you look at it and you don't have a scoreboard and you look at the stats, you're like, oh, yeah, they got 5-6 touchdowns out of that. We had 400 and something yards, 35 minutes of possession.
Scored 21 points.
The 10-point swing was huge. So here's the thing. Could you believe, you know what the problem is with Connor Talty? One of the problems? What kicker, even though that was a high snap, that should even affect the kicker. Because there was nothing delayed, bobbled, or the way the ball was placed to do with that snap. If he went through his motion correctly, even though that was a high snap, Dow got that ball down, Kennington.
Yeah. Not a great look for Connor Talty, who
is 11 for 17.
Right, exactly. It's like, what are the chances that he was going to miss that kick regardless if the snap was right? So I think that's kind of where, the eye rolling is coming from Bama fans. It's like, there's not a lot of faith in you regardless, and then you kind of go and try to blame somebody else. Hopefully that's been resolved behind closed doors. I'm sure it has, because the clip's gone viral. But I've said this before. I'm going to say it again. There's only 3 times Alabama should be kicking the ball. That's an extra point on kickoffs and punts. Otherwise, I feel like I'm telling you, I feel better. The offense has a better chance of converting a fourth down than Connor Salty does of kicking an extra point or kicking a field goal. If you look at Alabama's fourth down percentage, you look at Connor Salty's field goal percentage, the numbers bear that out.
Yes.
So
that's crazy.
I think this experiment is over, and they'll be looking for a kicker again in the offseason.
I said Saturday, if I'm a kicker on some other team, I'm not playing, or I'm at some small school, I'm in the portal. I'm calling. I would have been trying to find Kalen DeBoer's phone number during the game. So it was so bad. But Kennington, I know we said we've kind of harped on this team. The reality of it is everything is still in front of Alabama except for a first round bye, probably. What are your thoughts on this team's ability to win out and get into the playoffs? I mean,
I think they'll win out. This didn't it changed their season in some ways, but it didn't really change the overall trajectory of their season. Just because everything that we saw on Saturday was not really it was a surprise in some ways, like with the turnovers and stuff. But this has kind of been the Alabama team that we've been seeing over the last several weeks. The difference is previously they had made enough plays to win, and that didn't happen against Oklahoma. So they can still make the SEC championship. They can still win it. They can still do all of those things. This was just maybe a necessary evil to get the team back on track, because if we're just looking at this objectively, Alabama has not improved holistically in a little while. Coming out of the bye just has not been great. LSU, Oklahoma, the defense has been awesome. So shout out to them. But just as a team, this does not feel like a team that is moving forward, right? They're not getting hot at the right time. They're not clicking on all cylinders, all the cliches of like late season teams that are primed to do something special at the end of the year. This team does not look like that. I think that's like the most concerning thing, but it's not like their goals aren't out there in front of them. So I think they'll win out, but this team has to do some soul searching to get to that necessary gear to be playing deep into the playoffs.
And could this game be that?
It could be. It could be. I'm not writing this team off at all, but that's just kind of what I see at the moment. They just kind of have to figure out a way to work on these margins, because there's still a lot out there for this team to do. I don't know how much better this team can get. I do think the running game can get better. And Ty, I think, is going to play cleaner than he did last Saturday. So I'm still pretty high on this team. This is just kind of one of those games that I think was a good reminder to them that if they don't do the things they're supposed to do, that they can get beat.
Yeah. And I pump Texas A&M up, but the reality of it is Alabama will be 7-0 with that schedule, SEC schedule as well. But what they did Saturday was impressive. It's coming down from 27 down. I told somebody they should fire Shane Beamer right there. He should just walked in the locker room and said, "Guys, I'm sorry, I'm resigning. I'm going to coach where my dad used to coach." But Kennington, really not much going on this week in terms of football team. What are your thoughts on the basketball program and their big matchup this week?
Yeah, I like where the basketball team is at. I mean, you look at St. John's and Purdue before the season, you probably tell yourself, if we split those games, we're in a good position. They split them. The Purdue game was a good game. It went down to the wire. Alabama had a chance to go ahead. It just didn't work out for them. But Alabama's got some injuries that they're dealing with as well. But this team isn't full tilt. So I actually like where the team is at. I think they need to get a little bit more physical in the front court, and they need to establish that identity. But as far as like the pieces and the talent and where Alabama can be and what they've shown us already, I think this is a good team. So I'm excited to see them compete against Illinois.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a good season for basketball, and hopefully we can continue to roll and right the ship. But hey, Kennington, we appreciate you for being here with us today. Let everybody know where they can find you, sir.
Yeah, on Twitter at SkinnyKenny_ and at apnews.org. Appreciate y'all.
Hey, Kennington, where do you think Alabama will be tomorrow after the rank?
Probably like 10 or 11. Honestly, they're going to be right there on the bubble. Not saying that Alabama's not going to be a playoff team. They don't go 10-2, but they're definitely not getting in at 9-3 with where they're going to be ranked. So I would say probably 10 or 11.
Yeah. I think you may see these two, not Oklahoma switch places, but I think you'll see Alabama go to where Oklahoma was, or maybe where Texas was in the playoff rankings since Texas lost. So we'll break it down. We'll look at it tomorrow. Thanks, Kenneth. Appreciate you, man.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, this is the Martin Houston Show with Martin and Xavier. That was Kennington Smith joining us as he does each and every Monday. We had Chase Brumfield pressing all the right buttons. We appreciate you being a part of the show on this manic Monday. It wasn't a great weekend for the Crimson Tide, but hopefully they can right the ship. All their goals are still in front of them. SEC championship, playoff berth, it's all right there for the taking.
Yeah, and we had a lot of maniacs talking about that Auburn game, guys. Man, we looted that Auburn team. Yeah. I'm gonna just say that. But I know we don't play Auburn for 2 weeks, but maybe La Monroe. Maybe this upcoming weekend will be what ULM was for this offense to get them some juice going as they prepare to go into that. We'll have DC Capstone report on with us tomorrow. We appreciate all the callers, listeners, viewers, chatters, and the maniacs for being part of the program. You guys had a lot to say. We'll work you guys into the conversation like we do each and every day. Remember this: trust in the Lord always, lean not your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge Him. He will direct the path. Roll Tide, everybody.
It's time to come together. It's up to you.
Thank you for listening to the Martin Houston Show on your home for Alabama sports. Tide 100.9 and streaming on the Tide 100.9 app.